Hello, everyone, and welcome to the August Glimesh board meeting. Welcome everyone in. For those of you who are new around here, this is something we do every month. It's called our Glimesh board meeting, and the purpose is to kind of share some company level updates. We don't really cover as many features here, but whenever we have something cool that we launch, we do make sure and mention it. But we talk about kind of the business, what's been going on the past month. We talk about financials, we talk about different metrics, and then kind of anything else that we need to report out. We are recording this video, so if you choose to chat over in chat there or in the Discord, just make sure you recognize that your voice and or text will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So if you don't consent to that, please don't talk in those locations. You can talk in Discord instead, in the text chat, and we'll read it out for you. All right, so with that in mind, we're going to kind of read through this sheet here. I'm not going to do it word for word, but you can kind of read it as we go. If you have any questions about anything along the way, feel free to ask them. If they're related to the subject, we'll answer them immediately, but if they're not, we'll probably hold off answering them until the end of the stream. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so one of the really big things that's been going on right now, especially I think in my head, has been this concept of ownership. So right now, as is today, Glimesh is a incorporated C Corp in the state of Delaware, operating out of the state of Pennsylvania. And I'm the 100% owner of the business. That is kind of the step that we took in the very beginning to kind of get this thing off the ground, to make it easy, to make it legally easy, and then easily explainable to other people. But that was never really the goal. We've kind of used our tagline from the very beginning, before all the other people tried to steal it, that says that we're built by the community for the community. And that's not, by the streamers for the streamers. That's not by the viewers for the viewers. That's the community and everyone kind of who fits in here, which is, streamers, viewers, people who make bots or applications, people who just want to, troll us and send fraudulent charges. That's the community. That's who everyone. That's who everyone is here. And so, one of the things that we've been wanting to do for a long time is figure out a way to continually involve the community in the building of Glimesh, but I think the next step there is to figure out how we can involve the community in owning some of Glimesh. And this idea in the beginning was a little too complicated to kind of flush out, so we ignored it, we put it off. But I've always wanted to build a site that was owned by us, for us, something that couldn't be slipped away under your feet, without you even knowing. Something that you could have a say in, and potentially something that you could even profit from. And I think it's kind of time to figure out what that looks like for Glimesh. So I want to say that what we're trying to do now is we're trying to figure out what community ownership means. And I say that because it's very vague and raw and confusing and new. And I don't want anyone to have any concerns about final decisions or anything like that, because what we're trying to figure out right now, from everyone's perspective, from the community's perspective, what's the right choice for Glimesh? There's a bunch of different options. We actually have a video and a long set of notes to go with them. So I'm not going to bore you to death here, but basically the goal is to bring on more owners of Glimesh from the community, before, I don't know, at the end of the year or something, before some time. And those people, those owners, would have a contributing say in the company itself. Now, how exactly all that works, how exactly all that fits together, who those people are, how they're granted, all that kind of stuff, we have no idea what the answer is. So we've created this this subject, or this category here on Building Glimesh, where everyone can see it, everyone can contribute, everyone can read it, and kind of take their own time to sponge it up and then come back with feedback. So I invite you all to take a look at it. I will link it in stream right now. This is kind of the first topic that kind of gets you going. It describes kind of in depth or at brief what we're trying to accomplish here. And then there's a bunch of different questions here that we want to try and answer. So, how are decisions made? How is ownership granted? What are the legal tax implications, etc. So give that a read. That'll kind of be the future of Glimesh. So it's important. But at the same time, if you're a viewer who likes watching streams and you don't give a shit about Glimesh and how it's run and contributing to the company or having a stake in ownership, ignore it. There's no reason to pay attention to it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to solidify the base of Glimesh and build a stronger company. Yeah. So check out Building Glimesh, kind of review these questions, review what we're looking for. And if you have ideas, if you have pitches that you want to make sure you post here, okay? One of the things we're going to be doing is Paco is going to help lead various interactive sessions as well. So besides just having Building Glimesh, we're going to have maybe bi-weekly, maybe a little bit less frequent meetings where we can kind of get together on stream and talk about kind of what we're thinking right now, how it's going to work, just so we can kind of continue to discuss both in synchronous time and asynchronous time exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. And so I think we'll have a bunch of different activities there, but Building Glimesh will be the best way to get your input heard and the best way to keep up with the ongoing discussion. So. All right, so besides that, I really only have a couple of updates. This board meeting is, 3 weeks late? Sorry about that. It's definitely late. The next one will be late as well. It'll be on the 14th of September, same time. Sorry, not even the 14th, no. The 15th, right?
I thought it was the 14th. I don't remember what you said.
Fuck, I messed it up. It's definitely supposed to be the 15th. I just realized my tweet said 14th. I'll figure that out. I'll see if my schedule can align. I'm pretty sure I'll be in the middle of Tennessee at that time, but we'll see. I'll let everyone know very early if I have to reschedule. Well, Barry, you have whiteout for a reason. All right, so some kind of somber news, I think. I know a lot of people were excited for this. I think it was kind of like there's a saying that I always have in programming, and it's based on every business I've ever seen and every product I've ever seen, and it's everything I've ever seen. There's no such thing as a golden gun except for in GoldenEye. So one of the things that thinking about ownership of Glimesh has kind of led me personally to reconsider is bringing on a co-founder for marketing. And what I mean by that is I think it doesn't make sense to give someone a considerable ownership share of Glimesh in exchange for what could work out to be nothing. And what I mean by that is we're putting all of our eggs in one basket by relying on one person to have a great marketing strategy and run with it. I think for some companies that risk is acceptable, especially because you can vet your prospective team members a lot more thoroughly. But for Glimesh, since we are all volunteers, since we have nothing to offer anyone, taking the gamble on someone to run marketing and it fail is a very considerable risk. And so I think for me, what I would like to do instead is kind of pause the marketing co-founder approach. We had a lot of really great people, a lot of really great candidates. Every single person who emailed me I talked to, and they all, there were some that were very clearly very passionate about helping, but didn't have exactly the experience we needed. But then there were some that really did have a lot of experience and could offer a lot. But, it was always that kind of concern, that risk of, betting kind of all your apples on one person and that's a lot of pressure for them as well. We're just not really set up for that kind of risk at the moment. Now, the risk on the flip side is that we die, right? That we can't do enough marketing that we literally just stop existing. But what I would like to do instead is get this ownership plan moving, and then let the new membership or the board kind of figure out the right approach there. Um, we need to market, we need to grow, but at the same time, there's a lot of risk in doing it wrong. There's a lot of risk in not finding the right person. And there's a lot of risk in putting your eggs in one basket, giving them an ownership share, and then them not working out. So again, I want to make sure this is said out loud. All the candidates we had were really, really good, really qualified, really knowledgeable. I had great conversations with everyone. We're going to put a pause on the co-founder position for now, which basically means to anyone, and we're gonna let everyone know via email. But everyone who basically applied, we're not going to be selecting at this time. So don't let that kind of surprise you. Again, we'll email those people, make sure they know for sure. But it's just something that I felt was kind of didn't really fit with what we're trying to do with this ownership expansion. So
Especially timing wise, really. I think that's the big takeaway on that is timing wise, it doesn't make sense.
right, because we could come back literally and with a better board, a better membership team, and be like, oh hey, why don't we try this strategy? And it works so much better. Just trying to find someone to fix it for me, it was always going to be a gamble. Now, I do want to say, I'm not going to promise anything because I'm still, look, we've all got our own life and vices and problems and, priorities. And I am trying to karate chop the fuck out of every other priority I have, besides, the truly important ones. That way I can give more time towards Glimesh. So I've been trying for a couple of days now, I will say a couple of days now, to really prioritize a lot of things. Some of the things that I've done in the meantime, I've started to try and tweet again. I got the ownership expansion stuff out on Discourse. I had a meeting to talk about that. I had this board meeting, and then this morning I worked on this FTL project I'm working on, and then I worked on fixing some of the bugs that we were having with RTMP. So for me, I'm hoping that I can kind of continue to push myself with the momentum to continue working on Glimesh. So I think we did have this kind of like pause, this lapse of communication, this lapse of kind of Luke work, Clone work that was being put into Glimesh, while other people were still pushing very hard. And I hope now I'll be able to continue. My goal now is to continue to push with you and grow this thing and build out new features and fix bugs and make sure everything's working good. So I'm just gonna say that out loud, just so everyone can hold me kind of accountable. But
I'll yell at you. It's fine.
good. Because I do want to call that out. I think a lot of people. I know I've heard lots of concerns about not communicating, and at the end of the day, it's not necessarily that I wasn't communicating or we weren't communicating. It's that sometimes just nothing was happening. There was a couple of weeks there where I wasn't doing anything related to Glimesh. I was just making sure the servers were up and doing the absolute minimum possible to keep the ball rolling. And so that's not really that. That's what I had to do at the time based on my priorities. But that's not how we have to continue. So I'm looking to kind of get back into pushing, just like I used to. Waking up a little bit earlier, seeing people out and about on Discord. So I'd appreciate as well if anyone is ever around in Discord. Let's chat it up a little bit. Let's talk. We've got a couple different work channels there as well. If you're working on something Glimesh related, make sure you voice that. I know there's a lot of cool things happening right now. We've got emotes that are taking a slight improvement. We've got Mytho working on, and I don't want to call anyone out in particular, but I already call that Mytho, so Oops. But Minto is working on this awesome interactive proposal of a way to basically make like all the components of Mixplay, but like on top of the stream, on top of the browser window, um, but also integrating with software. So it's like a lot of really cool things. We also have this co-streaming idea really taking form. I know Memory League Death has been working on that, and then I think right now there's a lot of cool features that are being worked on behind the scenes. And I think if anyone is working on something, they want feedback for it, they want to talk about it, Discourse is great. Discord is great. Send a tweet. I would love to retweet more people working on Glimesh. So if you're doing something on Glimesh and you got like a prototype working, like the screenshot or something, right here, boom, we will retweet the heck out of that and promote it. And even if it's not like, even if you're working on a new avatar or a new design for your stream or whatever the fuck it is, like tweet it out because that'll be a great way for us to kind of promote that. You know, tons of people are working on Glimesh right now. So
Anything you're doing that's Glimesh related, feel free to shout it out on Twitter. Let us find out about it. Point it out to us. Tag us.
yeah,
Uh, Whatever it takes. Just let us know that you're talking about us, and we will absolutely get out there and interact with that and feed back that energy.
yeah, exactly. Because as soon as we can retweet that, and not only will that help you, but that'll even help us. You know, we'll be able to continue to promote that to everyone. So
Even on social media, it's just us and the community working together for everybody's improvement.
yeah. And if anyone, I think really, people have said this before, we are missing out by not figuring out some kind of content to publish to TikTok. Um, I think one of the things that like strikes my mind is if I could figure out how to involve more of the like building in public pieces of Glimesh into TikTok, I think that would really take off. I think people would enjoy seeing like, hey, you know, like as one of the TikToks, like, hey, this is our you know, finances for the month in a cool, interesting way, or like, hey, here's how we deploy features to production, or you know, it'd be rather nerdy, but there's plenty of nerds out there, so. All right, and then we've also made some, that was a really long tangent, by the way, but we've also made some changes to the Glimesh community team to kind of adjust for our current size and to help build out what the future of the team could look like. And Paco is going to cover that kind of at the end of the presentation here. So, all right, I'm going to fly into metrics now. We definitely had less viewers over the past 3 weeks than we had before. By basically about 500, but the number of streamers stayed pretty consistent. As far as website views go, we're doing pretty even. This is the last 3 months. These peaks are nothing real. I think some of them may be really real peaks, like these. This is like the beginning of Pride Month. I think this one though is like a fluke. I don't think that's an event hosted by us. But we can look later and find out for sure. And then in the last month, which was July, this is incorrect. What is it, 31 days in July?
Yes.
Okay, so that's May 1st to July 31st. Sorry about that. And then for last month, which is July, this is kind of the metrics. But you can see it's pretty standard. The really great thing about hitting rock bottom is the only place to go is up. So as far as our metrics go,
starts on July 1st, by the way.
fuck me. Wait, that's right, isn't it?
No, you've got May 1st to July 31st. That's July 1st to
No,
July.
no. This label is for up here,
Oh, above.
and this label is for
Okay.
up here. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let me beep. Beep. All right, so everyone ignored that I just said that. So yeah, the metrics are looking good as far as page views go. This is also year to date. I wanted to show this. Oh shit, where's my radio at? I literally can't find. I can hear it. Can't find it. There it is. This is year to date metrics for the website. So not only have we had 150,000 unique visitors and 1.1 million page views, but look at these past couple of months leading up to July. Looking good. You can see those broken down here. And then app metrics, we're still getting really good engagement with the app. We've definitely lost people, but not really that many. I think last month this was like 900 and something instead. The impressions are still good as far as I'm concerned for the app stores. We're not really pushing the app. We've got the link on the homepage. The link in the nav bar, but we're not really doing anything more than that. We're not definitely not doing anything promoted on the App Store. All right, and the money. Again, I want to note real quick. I need to update the way we track our metrics. After we added donations are not recurring, and neither are gift subs, but we're including them in the gross subscriptions amount here. So this number is technically incorrect, but since they're all incorrect, they're all correct together. But incorrect as opposed to the word subscriptions. They're not subscriptions. And maybe like $200 here is donations and gift subs. So it's correct when you compare it against each other, but yeah. Anywho, we paid out $446 last month. We got a big payout coming today. I actually just processed it. I covered for a couple of different weeks. So you should see that kind of Monday probably. $102 charge fees, $5 refund. We just had one more fraudulent charge for $100. That was absolutely fraudulent, so I just refunded the user. And thankfully, we didn't pay that out yet, so we didn't really lose anything but the fraud fee, which is like, I think $15. So that'll show up next month. So that's our total expenses as far as subscription goes to 792 and total revenue 632. So there is a diff there. We paid more than we took. Merch sale, we did sell a couple of t-shirts. Unfortunately, still couldn't fucking make profit on that, but oh well. Infrastructure about the same price. We do have an RTMP server running now as well for testing. Speaking of which, if anyone is interested and is already an RTMP tester, I did fix some bugs, so give it a try. I'm trying to figure out one more bug that causes it to disconnect, but I added more logging, so it should be a little bit better. Now, the one problem still is the video encoding. If you use like an AMD encoder, it might be pretty broken, so just keep that in mind. All right, so you can continue to read this. We did pay for our PO box this month, and then the domain renewals hit because it's our kind of anniversary for buying domains. So $64 there, and then total profit is negative $1,131. So we lost $1,131. We still have about $9,900 though overall balance. All right, one more thing. I still have a goal to decrease the number of servers we have without sacrificing quality by about half. I'm working on the code for that, but it's still not ready yet. So I want to get these infrastructure costs down just because it makes it easier for us to survive for longer. But it is a very complicated task, it seems. The one other cost saving I have in mind is right now we're paying PO editor, which is the translation service, $120 a month, which is by far the largest recurring service we have that's non-servers. So I've got an idea there. So I'm going to kind of work on that. But again, that's not going to make a huge difference, but every small difference can help. All right, so with that, Paco's going to take it over for a little while to talk about some GCT changes.
Yeah, we've got some changes coming up that I am making to the Glimesh community team that I'm really excited about. Pretty much what we're going to be doing is we are taking the existing team and we are putting it into two different roles within the Glimesh community team, and that's going to be the core team, which is the background side of things, like when you need to change a username or if you submit a report or a support ticket, the core team will be handling that. And the community champions, which are going to be the community side of things, interacting with the community, scheduling events to put on with and for the community, talking to people in Discord and answering questions, or going into chats, greeting people, that sort of thing. Uh, like I said, both of these roles are still considered Glimesh community team. This is just to kind of help us keep a more focused approach and keep people um, what's a good way to say, like, keep people focused on what it is that they are doing instead of having an everybody does everything situation. So you end up with people kind of running around in circles at times. So soon you will be seeing some new role names and colors when you mouse over. So for instance, like Yakes just said something in the chat with the green name, and if you mouse over it, it says Glimesh Community Team. That is going to be changing to core team, or I'm sorry, to community champion. And then core team is going to be a blue name, and that's going to be the people that are working the background side of things. We're also going to be putting the changes into the Discord. As far as that goes, uh, what it means for the community is basically that nothing changes. It's still the same people doing the same things. We're just kind of organizing it and creating a better focus to get more done. Um, and in related news with that, Art of COD is going to be moving from the community champion team to the events team from now on. He's going to help organize community events alongside the GCT. Going to be doing art for it, all of that, and he's also from now on going to be an internal point of contact for GCT and Glimesh hosted community events and other internal things like that. So super excited about that.
That's
A
awesome.
lot of
Congrats,
good
COD.
stuff. And also, one big advantage with having COD on the events team is that takes a little bit of the pressure of the events team off of me, even though Barry does a lot of it there and Britt does a lot of it there as well. It's going to help take it off of me, which will, of course, let me focus on other things too while we've got so much going on now, and we can all just keep pushing forward together with all this awesome stuff we got going on.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I really like the change from core team, like to have core team and community champions, because I think from like my perspective, I don't really want to answer tickets all day. I'd much
Hmm.
rather just have fun and interact with the community. Whereas I know some people like they get in that ticket system and they just like jam shit out. And so I think it's a
Hmm.
really good way to like figure out what you want to do and kind of fit you in the right place.
Exactly. And having people doing the thing that they enjoy about it is going to make them even more effective at it, which is just, that, again, it's wins for everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alrighty.
Yeah, and that's it.
Well, thanks, Paco. So that is basically our board meeting. Do you have any questions about anything in this document? Anything you want me to go over again or clarify? We've got a charity event, or sorry, the uh, the bus ride has a charity event coming up this Saturday, August 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 hours ago, but on Saturday. It's a really
Yeah,
easy way
that's
to
good.
say it.
Or you can click events at the top of the page and go to the events calendar and
I
see the
still think
information there.
the events page is kind of the most underrated page on the website.
I agree. Barry did a great job on it.
Well, because it's also a good way, like, since we don't always have live streams, it's a great way to figure out, like, what will be available.
Hmm. And I think we need to, like, we need to go back to pushing that more and letting people know that, unlike most other places, Glimesh will let anybody host an event
Yeah.
as long as it is a legitimate event and it's not like, hey, it's Tuesday, I'm doing a stream. Like if you've got something going on, a charity event, a tournament, a birthday, something, Tuesday, isn't it? Exactly. As long as you've got something going on, then send in that form. Let us know.
Yep. Trexel, The RTMP does work with restreaming, but it does not currently work with restream. They actually use a method of authentication that we have to add support for, and then once we have that, then you could use it with restream in particular. It does actually work with Aircast though, but in the future it'll work with restream as well. So Q asks, I don't actually know the abbreviation for COH. Could you clarify that real quick? Cash on hand, okay. Yeah. Q Continuum asks, if the cash on hand balance is trending down, which is this one down here, total complete balance, and the last balance shows 4,000 remaining with a loss of at least 20%. What do you mean last balance?
Checking balance
Oh,
is 4,000.
so the Stripe balance should be included as the checking balance. That's money that we've yet to transfer from Stripe, but it's available to us and it's indebted to us. It's just you have to click the button to move it. I normally only do it like once every couple months. So regardless, if we do get to a point where we have, 4K remaining total, and we have losses continuing, and we end up having like 4 months left to live, we'll continue to exist. We'll basically just get money from. It'll be okay. We'll get money from wherever we need it, which right now will just be me and whoever else is interested in donating. We'll kind of contribute to continue to make Glimesh exist, but I don't know if it'll come to that. I think if we can get the servers decreased a little bit, the subscriptions can help carry us, and then we just continue to grow the subscriptions. Making loans to the corp or capital contributions, I don't know. Yes. Well, it depends on if it makes profit or not. I will say that my knowledge of accounting is enough to make this spreadsheet, and maybe like 2 steps more. But I definitely have an accountant that handles tax filing, but they're not the CFO. There's no CFO. Right now, it's a company of one person, so. And I'm only the CEO because that was the required field when filing the paperwork.
He prefers the term El Capitan.
Yeah.
And somebody had a question about reports or reporting, I believe.
Reports. Let's see here. Yeah. ABOBY 23.
Aboby?
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 I think that's probably the best pronunciation. No, the server costs are a flat fee. Whenever we first launched, we did have situations where we went over our bandwidth quota and we had to pay more for bandwidth. But now our servers are just a flat fee. The problem right now is the servers. We actually have to have. We only have servers in like 4 locations at the moment. U.S., London, I think one in Amsterdam, and then one in Singapore, and then one more in Australia. And instead of having to have just one server in each location, we actually have to have 2 servers. So that ends up to be like 10 servers. So with the code I'm working on right now, we'll make it so we can have 5 servers total. And yeah, Q is totally right. We wouldn't want to restrict stream time or have people restrict their own stream time. Like, you should stream on the platform. There's plenty of bandwidth to go around. Please do all of your streams here.
I challenge you to use up more bandwidth.
But Q, to your point, we are burning through money. profit needs to be in sight at some point. Thankfully, we don't have any kind of salaries or anything like that. But if we have to continue existing, then I'll give loans as necessary or capital contributions, whichever one doesn't hurt the business it doesn't hurt the business long term. Because I think that it's going to take time to build this thing, and I'm definitely committed to it. It's just I'd like to not have to do that. So, if we could figure out a way to grow this thing. And again, like I say that, if we can figure out a way to grow this thing, that's not even like a real thing. We just need to, I just need to get off my fucking ass and do the work, promote this thing, use all the assets that everyone gives, use all the resources we all have, and continue to grow. It's just got to do it. And then if we run out of money, Barry will sell her services as a murderer for stickers, so we can do that. Paco, I'm sure will sell his body.
We're trying to make money, Clone.
Oh yeah, sorry. All right. If there's no more questions, Paco has one.
Ebobi didn't get his question answered.
Oh, sorry.
He said, if you make a report on somebody, a ticket, will somebody respond the same day? Yes, somebody should be responding, hopefully pretty quickly. Sometimes it can take us time, but yeah, you should get a response within the day, hopefully sooner, especially with a report or something like that. Reports are something that we definitely try and stay on top of.
Yep. You do actually get when you report, you get an email immediately. That also gives you an opportunity. It's just an automated email, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of like add more or put like screenshots, whatever you need. Shortcut, I'm pretty sure I reached out to Social Blade. Let me check.
They're probably just waiting for a confirmation response from Clone from like 4 months ago.
No, I think a couple of them gave answers like you guys are too small right now. So, let me check. Okay, no, I haven't reached out to Social Blade. Good idea. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Thank you all for stopping by. We're going to, I'm going to end the recording. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes on stream. But thank you all who are watching on YouTube. See you later.